Right, let's dive into this explainer and build the absolute ultimate hassle-free playbook for parents planning a trip to Warmwell Holiday Park. Look, if you're gearing up to take the family away, you already know the drill, right? The planning alone, it can literally feel like a full-time job. But by piecing together park maps, parent blog reviews, and some actual on-the-ground walkthroughs, we're going to get the inside scoop on everything you need to know.
So we're kicking things off with a big question. What actually turns an exhausting family trip into a perfectly balanced, genuinely memorable staycation? Because as parents, we're constantly trying to strike that honestly impossible balance, aren't we? You want high-energy activities to burn off the kids' endless energy, but you also desperately need a peaceful environment where you might actually get a moment to relax. And honestly, from what we're seeing in all these sources, Warmwell seems uniquely positioned to offer exactly that.
Here's our itinerary for today's explainer. We're going to cover Welcome to Warmwell, your woodland home base, slopes, snowboards, and ringos, beyond the ski slope, and finally, some essential tips for parents.
Okay, Section 1. Welcome to Warmwell, which is tucked right down by Dorset's famous Jurassic Coast.
Before we even touch on the high adrenaline stuff, it is so great to know that this park offers a really serene environment to just decompress. The park is essentially this sprawling woodland dotted with lodges. There's a dedicated nature trail right on the grounds, and reviewers are constantly mentioning spotting local wildlife. We're talking robins, badgers, and even deer. Plus, if you sit quietly at night, you can often hear the resident owls. It's a massive, massive shift from the hustle and bustle of city life. It gives you that immediate, absolute exhale moment the second you drive through the gates. Oh, and you're just miles away from iconic coastal spots like Weymouth, Durdle Door, and Lulworth Cove.
Moving right along to Section 2, your woodland home base. Let's take a look at the accommodation features.
Now let's explore where you'll actually be sleeping, which, let's be real, is arguably the most crucial detail for any parent. When you're lugging kids, strollers, and a literal mountain of luggage, having an open-plan space where everyone isn't just constantly stepping on each other's toes, that is an absolute game-changer. There's this quote from the family travel blog My Tunbridge Wells that perfectly captures the vibe. They noted that their first impressions were just, quote, wow, because the open-plan lodge was immaculate, really spacious, and looked like it had absolutely everything they needed.
So, your woodland home base comes fully equipped with modern comforts to make sure the whole family stays warm and cozy all year round. We are definitely not talking about drafty tents here. These are premium static lodges scattered right amongst the trees. You'll find fully equipped kitchens, which is huge for saving money on dining out, en-suite bathrooms, flat-screen TVs for those early morning cartoons, and verandas that are just perfect for a quiet coffee before the daily chaos begins. And crucially, they feature central heating and electric fires, so this is a fantastic option for a crisp February half-term break just as much as a summer holiday.
Okay, so the absolutely crucial point here for parents with strollers or, any mobility needs is to explicitly request lodge side parking. While a lot of the lodges let you park right at your front door, some of the hillside lodges use designated parking bays at the bottom of a seriously steep set of stairs. We actually saw a video walkthrough from a reviewer who was genuinely out of breath, poor guy, just trying to climb up to his front door. So when you're booking, if hauling heavy suitcases or a sleeping toddler up a steep hill sounds like your worst nightmare, definitely ask the park team for an accessible lodge-side parking spot.
All right, Section 3, slopes, snowboards, and ringos. This is really the crown jewel of the park. Older kids and adults are going to love knowing they have a massive 110-meter main dry ski slope to tackle. I mean, this isn't just some tiny ramp. It's a premier dry slope right in the middle of Dorset, complete with its own ski lift and floodlights for evening sessions. So whether you're an experienced snowboarder looking to hit the fun park and jump zone or a total novice wanting to book a learn-to-ski-in-a-day session, this facility is genuinely top tier.
Now, if you don't actually want to ski, they have these things called ringos. Basically, they're massive inflatable tubes you ride down the hill, and they have options to easily manage the whole family. For kids 8 and up, they get to hit that massive 110-meter main slope. But what about the little ones? Well, they offer mini ringos on a dedicated nursery slope for kids aged 2 to 7. Now keep in mind, the mini ringos are parent-assisted. That means, yep, you'll be the one dragging the tube back up the hill for them. But it completely solves that headache of finding an activity that caters to a demanding teenager and an energetic toddler at the exact same time.
What's really interesting here is understanding the mechanics of the slope itself. It uses this specialized surface called snowflex. It's actually safer to fall on than traditional dry slopes, but there's a catch. It uses a water misting system to keep the surface slick. What does that mean for you? Well, it means you and the kids are absolutely going to get wet during your session. No way around it.
Because of that misting system and the rough matting, following this specific packing list is your ultimate must-know insider secret. Okay, so the park provides the skis, the boards, and the ringos, but they do not provide the clothing. You have to have your skin completely covered to prevent friction burns if you take a tumble. Long sleeves and long trousers are absolutely mandatory. Gloves are a total must to protect your hands. And if you throw some waterproof over trousers and a dry change of clothes into your day bag, I promise you, your kids will stay warm, dry, and infinitely less grumpy when the session wraps up.
Moving on to Section 4, Beyond the Ski Slope. Let's look at the broader family fun.
If snow sports really just aren't your thing, don't worry. The park has a Center Park-style level of alternative activities. There's a fantastic indoor swimming pool complete with a flume and an hourly wave machine that kids absolutely go crazy for. On top of that, you've got a roller skating rink, a massive sports dome, an indoor climbing wall, high ropes, and even an arts and crafts stand. Basically, whatever the weather happens to be doing outside, there's a massive variety of high-energy fun right on your doorstep.
And hey, if you just need a moment to breathe, here is a golden tip straight from the parent blogs. When you just want to sit down with a nice drink after dinner, sneak the kids into the on-site arcade. Hand them a cup filled with a single pound's worth of 2p coins for the penny pusher machines. Honestly, it is a brilliantly cheap thrill. They will be entirely obsessed with winning little keychains and plastic rings, and you buy yourself a solid chunk of peaceful, seated downtime.
All right, final section, Section 5, Essential Tips for Parents. Let's cover the logistics and realities.
Knowing exactly where to feed hungry kids fast is vital. The main restaurant on site gets a lot of praise for good, reasonably priced meals. You know, the classics like pizza and fish and chips. If you're out exploring the park, keep an eye out for street eats. Reviewers specifically rave about their smash burgers. But just a quick word of warning here, multiple reviewers pointed out that the dedicated on-site fish and chip shop can be pretty expensive with surprisingly small portion sizes. So you might honestly be better off sticking to the main restaurant or just utilizing your lodge's kitchen.
Just a quick safety check to round out our playbook. Because this is a woodland park with free-roaming wildlife and tons of pedestrians, they enforce a strict 5-mile-per-hour speed limit. Also, please note there are large, unsupervised open water lakes, like the Kingfisher Lake, so you'll really want to keep a close eye on wandering toddlers. Oh, and save some space in the trunk. E-scooters and hoverboards are totally banned on the park roads. And finally, while the kids' clubs are amazing for entertainment, they are not a drop-off childcare service. Kids under 8 do require an adult to stay with them.
And that brings us to one final, pretty exciting question. Are you ready to swap screen time for slope time? Warmwell really does offer that rare mix of high-octane adventure and secluded woodland peace. Armed with this playbook, you know exactly what to pack, where to park, and how to keep the whole family entertained. Have an absolutely amazing trip, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.